First love. Yuxiu ignored Guozuo, and of course, Guozuo didn't care, but he really took it to heart. I don't like you. These 4 words are a bit annoying. It's the kind of indescribable trouble, the kind of trouble that forces people to remember, the kind of trouble that lights out and no fuss. Instead, Guozuo paid attention to Yuxiu consciously or not. During dinner, he even glanced at Yuxiu twice. Yuxiu was very unhappy, even a little worried. Guozuo knew that Yuxiu was childish, but he still reminded himself that this family was special, and it was better not to create unpleasant things. The next day, when Yumi just went to work, Guozuo put the book on his lap and took the initiative to chat with Yuxiu. Guozuo said, "I'll teach you Mandarin." Yuxiu didn't show any overjoyed expression, and she didn't even answer Guozuo's words. While choosing the veggies, she and Guozuo started a homey conversation. She asked Guozuo if he was used to being alone outside, if he ate well, what if his clothes were dirty, and if he missed home. Every word was deeply rooted in his heart. She was very mature. She really looked like an aunt. She was nothing like yesterday. Guozuo thought, why does this girl look differently every day? Guozuo was idle, so he walked to Yuxiu's side and helped Yuxiu to pick vegetables. Yuxiu raised her head and slapped Guozuo on the back of his hand, quite hard, even fierce. Yuxiu solemnly ordered Guozuo, "Wash your hands. This is not your business." Guozuo was stunned for a long time, and after understanding what Yuxiu meant, he had no choice but to wash his hands. After picking the veggies, Yuxiu washed her hands, came to Guozuo, and stretched out a hand. Guozuo was confused and asked, "What are you doing?" Yuxiu said, "Hit me." Guozuo bit his lower lip and said, "Why?" Yuxiu said, "I just hit you, and here you go." Guozuo smiled so hard that he said, "It's okay." Yuxiu said, "No." Guozuo said in a long voice, "It's okay." Yuxiu took a step forward and said, "Nope." She was a bit cunning and weird. Guozuo couldn't tangle with her, but he felt a little excited. He had no way out, but only hate her. It was like children's home playing. Actually, it was flirting. After Guozuo hit her, Yuxiu took the cigarette from Guozuo's hand, held it between her middle finger and index finger, brought it to her mouth, took a deep breath, closed her eyes, pursed her lips tightly, and the 2 strings of smoke emerged from Yuxiu's nostrils symmetrically, slowly, continuously. Yuxiu returned the cigarette to Guozuo, opened her eyes, and said, "Do I look like a female spy?" Guozuo was surprised and said, "Why do you think of being a female spy?" Yuxiu lowered her voice, becoming very mysterious, and said, "The female spy is so charming and beautiful. Who wouldn't want to be it?" It's all true, but it's very dangerous. Guozuo was nervous and excited. Guozuo wanted to be serious, but couldn't. So he warned, "You can't say that outside." Yuxiu smiled. "How come?" She said with a very mysterious and beautiful look, "I'm just telling you." This sentence was interesting. It seemed that the 2 people trusted each other very much, were very close to each other, and knew each other very well. They were even talking in private. Yuxiu's eyes suddenly widened and said nervously, "Won't you go to your father to tell on me?" Guozuo smiled. However, Yuxiu was very worried, so asked Guozuo to promise by pinking swear with her. Guozuo had no choice but to swear with her, and the 2 people's little fingers stuck together. It won't change for 100 years. Yuxiu thought for a while. 100 years was too long. They had to do it over again. Then it won't change for 50 years. It's a bit like exchanging solemn vows and pledges. Both of them looked quite satisfied. They had just separated, but they still felt wrapped around their fingertips. as if they were not there. They even felt melancholy. They were all fleeting and trivial thoughts. Guozuo looked very happy. It was the first time for Guozuo to stay with a girl like this. And Yuxiu was even happier. Being so close and talking to a young man so freely was unique to Yuxiu. After all, at Guozuo's age, Yuxiu, a girl, should be somewhat taboo. But Yuxiu is now aunt, so naturally she doesn't need to avoid anything. What are you worried about? It won't be anything. How can there be anything? However, Yuxiu, the aunt, unknowingly regards Guozuo as her brother when she's talking, and naturally had a bit more of a sister's charm, which was very intoxicating. Now, aunt has become the safest cover. It covers brother, and more importantly, it also covers sister. This feeling is really special, unable to speak, weird, but it is deeply rooted in their hearts. The yearly solemn house became lively, in secret, of course, with an underground nature. Dive into the darkness, into their hearts. Yuxiu soon discovered that Guozuo always had a lot to say, especially when he was alone with Yuxiu. Sometimes he was very happy. As soon as Guo Jiaxing and Yumi got off work, Guozuo falls silent again. Like his father, he has principles, policies, organization, and discipline, and meeting spirit, and it is rare for him to speak once. The only sound on the dinner table was Yumi's voice urging and picking up food for Guozuo. Yuxiu deeply felt this delicate situation, as if there was some accordance between her and Guozuo. Something had been agreed upon. As a result, the silence at the dinner table inevitably had a special meaning on Yuxiu's side, taking on a tense tone, implying unfamiliar comfort and extreme panic, and unknowingly it had developed into a secret. Heaven knows, and earth knows, you know, and I know. The secrets are touching, inspiring, and tinged with tear-jerking warmth. Secrets are longing to slowly penetrate and extend towards the depth of the secret, and when it extends to a certain point, the secret will quietly diverge, developing in a direction that is difficult to recover and difficult to regulate. Yuxiu herself felt that she was a little weird, inexplicable. As soon as Guo Jiaxing and Yumi left, both Guozuo and Yuxiu started to move around. The most inexplicable thing is Yuxiu's ridiculous behavior. As soon as Guo Jiaxing and Yumi go to work, Yuxiu will go back to the kitchen, change her clothes, comb her hair again, and braid the short braids into detailed and clear patterns, meticulously and symmetrically put on the butterfly clips, and then put a little water on it. They will be smooth and slippery. The bangs are also neatly cut, and they wrap around the forehead as fluffy as tassels. After Yuxiu finished dressing up, she would check it carefully in front of the mirror and make sure it was perfect. Yuxiu then came to the main room again and sat diagonally opposite Guozuo, silently picking the veggies. Guozuo obviously noticed Yuxiu's move. The family was tense for no reason. There was silence. The air became thicker and it was very difficult to flow. But tension and tension are different. Some are as tense and silent as death, while others are vigorous with explosive power, ready to take off. They're particularly fragile and require additional breath adjustment to stabilize. Guozuo said nothing. Yuxiu didn't speak either, but Yuxiu actually said it, as girl's hair is actually a master of telling stories. One piece at a time, which one can't express their true feelings. As Yuxiu combed her hair, her mind was filled with chaotics, hesitation, warning, and shameful self-blame. Yuxiu clearly knew that she was causing trouble again, being a vixen again, and kept ordering herself to stop in Yumi's tone. But she couldn't stop. Yuxiu had no idea that she was already in her first love. Spring is here, is dazzling, and her heart is budding. The leaf petals come out carelessly, although they are very weak and trembling. Every small leaf is born with stubborn paranoia. Even if there's a stone above its head, it can turn sideways, poke its head out, and sneak out quietly. A little more.